to write a computer game, I've created a simple model. Okay, I want all of you to, this is an interesting design question, but very simple way of thinking about a game. I'm saying that every game can be thought of as you have to set up something to start the game. Then you have to basically do a while loop. And every time in the while loop, you have to check is the game over or not, right? And what changes from whether the game continues or the game stops is some kind of input from the user. So it's a while loop that will keep on running as long as the game is being played. And each time I'm checking, should I continue the game? If the answer is yes, I continue the game. When I continue the game, I make whatever is considered the next step of this particular game, right? So if it's chess, I make another move. If it's a guessing game, I make another guess, and so on. And then after this loop is finished, whatever has to be done to notify the outcome of the game goes into this function called end game. Does that make sense? Very simple template, right? I always love when we can make simple templates. You think about, can I solve any game with this template? That seems very powerful, right? And let's see. So I will show you now a simple guessing game, right? So I'm actually planning to, do you guys want to try to do this? Can somebody chat me and say, do you want to take 3 minutes and try to use that template, or shall I just show you the answer? Maybe I'll show you the answer. Anyone want to try 5 minutes or?
Since John, we are running a bit short on time, probably.
Let me show. Yeah, good. Okay, so let me show you the solution, because this is, if we understand the solution, then we could be in a great position. So how does this game work? So all of you have this thing on your machine. So please load it up so you can run it as I am explaining how does it work. Okay. So clearly the computer first of all has to guess a random number that we are going to find out, right? It has to choose a random number, then we are going to find it out. So first of all, let me show you, so that I need random numbers, I import them. Now let me show you the part that we just discussed. Is there a while loop here? And the answer is, my while loop is very simple, right? So this is the setup part of my code. It's so small that I didn't even have to make a separate function for it, right? Basically says, welcome to the game. And it asks you to make a first guess. And it sets the number of guesses to 1, right? So this is the setup part of my code. I will refactor it and write a function called setup. Now the while loop is important, right? That's what I wanted to focus on. So while the game is not over, and it needs some information to write this function, we'll discuss in a second. While the game is not over, it's going to ask the user, can you guess the number again, right? And increase the guess count. And then check, is the game over? Okay, and then keep on going through this while loop. So it's a very simple while loop, right? I just repeat again. It checks if the game is over. If the game is not over, it asks the user, can you get me another guess, make another guess for the number, increases the guess count, and checks if the game is over. Okay? So now we have to ask the question, what is this is game over doing? How do I know if the game is over? So before I walk through the code, I want you to just close your eyes and think about, if I'm playing a guessing game and my job is to guess a number, how do I know when the game is over? And the answer is, the game is over either when I guess the number or when I have exhausted my guess count, right? So in order to decide if the game is over, I need to know what the guess is, I need to know what the answer is, and I need to know the guess count. Once I have these 3 variables, it's a simple if check, right? And if you have the answer, then at any moment, if the guess is equal to the answer, then I say you have guessed it, okay? And then if the guess is, so now let's just talk a little bit about this feedback that we want to give to the user, right? So how is this game to be played? So now again, we have to close our eyes and think. Maybe we can ask anyone this question. If I have, the computer has chosen a number between 0 and 100, how do I find that number? What is your strategy? This is another way of thinking in programming, which is very cool, right? We always ask, what is the strategy? What is the algorithm? So of course, we can guess at random. Is that our strategy? Manish, on chat, we can see some things. Let me know. Otherwise, I'll keep going, okay, because of time. So one strategy could be, I will guess. A better strategy is, each time, can I break the interval into half, right? So for example, and this game is set up so that I can only ask yes, no questions, right? I'll get only yes. I can ask, is the number greater than 50 or less than 50, right? So if I break it in half and I ask, is the number less than 50? If I get the answer no, then I know it's greater than 50, right? And so we can actually keep reducing the distance by half every time. And eventually I can find the number. Now I want you to play this game out using the strategy I just said. Forget about the code right now. Just pick a number and see how many guesses you will need to isolate that number by using the splitting in half strategy, right? Try to do it and see what happens. But anyway, so that's what as a player of this game, that's the strategy we should use. Maybe we can even try it when we run this game, okay? So then we have taken care of when the game is over. So now the question is, if I have to get a next guess from the user, what should I do? So the next guess is simply, it says, please enter an input, right? Please enter an integer for your next guess. Or if you want to exit, you can exit, right? You enter -1 to quit, okay? So this input, so we know how to get inputs. We say, what is your guess? And you store it in this input value, right? And now here I have put a little bit of mildly interesting code. I don't need you to digest all of this. It's advanced. We can discuss it next time. You can actually take this out. If you don't want this, try accept. You can actually take it out. But I want to give you this idea. I have to solve a tricky problem, which is if the user is supposed to enter a number, and suppose he puts in a character, what shall I do? Right? And I don't know what the user is going to do. So this code basically says, I'm going to try to process the input. And for some reason, if it's not an integer, then Python is going to break. So this is a structure, right? It says try to do something. If Python breaks, you catch what is called an exception. So in that exception is all reasons why this program broke. And right now, this program is interacting with the user. It's nice to tell the user something happened, right? I broke. So this except part is used to communicate to the user, please do the right thing.
Hey, John,
Right?
one nice suggestion, like why don't we run it once and then review a
And
code
talk about
again?
it?
Yeah, that would be much easier to see the,
Okay, but then I need people to give me some guesses.
like Cassandra gave the guess of 50. So she
Okay,
started.
50. Okay, good. So let's find next one. Guess is too low. So 50 is too low, what will we do? Let's use the splitting in half strategy. What is our
Yeah,
next
and also like the computer has chosen a number between 0 and 100 for those who did not follow.
Yeah, so if my first guess is 50, and 50 is too low, what is my next guess?
So Cassandra says, Rabin says 75.
Okay.
Cassandra says 75.
Okay, perfect, 75.
Kamal says
75
60.
is too high. So what's the next guess?
Kamal says 60.
60. Okay, go. You should go in half. Okay, but okay, 60. Okay, 60 is too low. So what's our next guess? So it's between 60 and 75 right now. What's
Kamal says 61. Ravindra says 67.
Okay, 67.
Amit says 67.
Okay. So what's the next guess?
It says your guess 67 is too high.
Okay.
So we know it's bigger than 60 and less than 67.
Yeah, bigger than 60 and less than 67. So you see, we must always split in half, otherwise you're going to run out of guesses.
Ravindra says 64.
64, okay. Too high. So what's the next? It's between 60 and 64.
Cassandra says 62.
Okay, 62.
And Meenakshi says 63.
Okay, 62 is too high. So it's between 60 and 62.
So 61.
Okay, that's the answer. That was Kamal's guess, but we exceeded 6 guesses because we were not very disciplined, okay? But I put it right on the border. By the way, I just cheated also. I printed out the numbers so I could see it, okay?
Yes.
So you might want to take out that print and play. So first of all, I want you guys to play with this code, right? Just play the game and see what happens a couple of times. Then understand the strategy. And I want you, next time we can discuss, you can send me email, however you want to do it. Ask the question, if you're playing this game and you want to win, how many guesses is the minimum number of guesses you should have so that you can guarantee a win? If you want to guarantee a win, how many guesses you should have? Simple calculation, okay? Think about that. So now, is the game clear to everyone now, or shall I, where do you want
You can ask this question, John, like what people think. Like if the number is between 0 and 100,
Yeah.
and you have to guarantee that you will guess the number, how many?
Yeah. How many guesses do you need? Okay, how many guesses do you need? There's lots of stuff on chat. Sorry, I'm not caught up.
Yes.
Meenakshi likes the program. Oh, Meenakshi, you see the next one, you're going to love it even more. Kamal, thanks. I'm glad everyone likes the program. See, yes, that's beautiful that you have an appreciation for it, right? That you have an appreciation for the structure. You see how it all flows, it all fits, right? And you take time and come back and discuss with me, right? Ask questions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. My code tends to look like this. So if you like it, when I show you stuff, it's going to, okay, don't feel scared that your code may not look like this. It's okay. It will become like this soon. You look at this again and again, it will become like this. Okay, important one. Kamal says he wants 10 guesses. I think that's too many. Why did you say 10, Kamal? Cassandra says 7. Okay. Amit Das says 7. Okay.
Ravindra says 7. Yeah.
Okay. 7 is kind of interesting. So I won't do this today, but you can figure out there's something interesting about the log of 100. Log base 2 of 100. Okay. So basically, yeah, Kamal says he can. I don't know why 10%, Kamal. But okay, I can see why 10 is fine. I can go 0 to 10, 10 to 20. I can go like this and get it, right? Something, okay. But there's something very deep and mathematical about log of 100. And you should check up what is log of 100 base 2. By the way, log is the inverse of what you guys did with 2 power 7, right? 2 power 7 is doing the same as log. You're just computing 2 power something and asking when is 2 power something bigger than 100, okay? So the inverse operation of this 2 power 7 is the log. And if you do log of 100 to the base 7, you will start seeing why 7, between 6 and 7 is the interesting time. If you're interested in logs, remind me next time, okay? I'll share about logs. So very interesting, 6 or 7, okay? So now let me show you the next program, okay? Yeah, somebody, okay, there's a no, you have a log calculator in Python. Does everybody know how to use this log calculator in Python? Just import math and you do log and you should be good, okay? If you need help, just let me know. I can always share it, okay? Okay, now, this is the game that I want all of you to write, okay? I believe you can. You have to believe that you can. At least you have to try. If anything breaks, we can discuss next time. We guess the number, right, this time. Now, I want the computer. I'm going to think of some number, and the computer is going to guess what the answer is. Does it make sense to everyone? Can somebody chat if the question is clear? The computer is going to guess my answer. Yeah, okay. Kamal did log base 100 is 6.4. Yeah, 6.6. So yes, can we just talk about this? Does everybody understand? You as a user, you pick it and keep it in your head. Some number between 0 and 100. Computer is going to ask you, is it greater than 50 or less than 50? And you're going to answer yes or no. You shouldn't mess it up, okay? You should answer correctly. Otherwise, the computer will fail, right? So make sure you answer correctly, yes or no. So you only need to know the greater than thing, right? And then it will find the number. So the question is, can you write this program? Let me ask as a question, how many of you feel you can write this program? You already have some structure, okay? Kamal says he can try. Anyone else who says they can try? Again, the structure is there, right? You need a while loop. Each time you have to ask the question, what can I do? When should I stop? Cassandra says with a lot of practice. Okay, so I don't want anyone to give me a perfect piece of code. I just want you to try to put some structure down. Amit says, based on previous code, I can work it out. Exactly. I want to motivate all of you. Just try. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. I want to see, I will take your code and I will make it perform and work out beautifully, right? So I just want to motivate all of you to try. So it's basically similar to the other one, but in the other one, we were using our computing power to make the guesses. Now the computer will use the computing power to make the guesses. I also want to say to you, maybe I can demo this next time. I actually took a voice translator, right, which can actually speak. So I can actually take this game and give it to a machine, and the machine will actually ask you, what is the answer? Is the number greater than 50? The machine can actually speak to you. With a little effort, it can also decode your voice, right? So we are all one step away from very advanced games, right? But right now, let's just do everything on the console. Just figure out how to make the computer guess. By the way, that starts to make the computer look intelligent, right? And you can easily see how we can, instead of guessing numbers now, it can start to guess all kinds of other things, right? You can play 20 questions with you, right? You think of some animal or whatever, but that's clearly much harder. How do I search in that space? But the computers can do all this stuff very quickly. Okay, so that's a kind of interesting game. I've given you another game. Now this is not hard. It takes a lot more words. I assume all of you have played some version of, Kamal says Cortana, Alexa, Siri, all these talking languages. These can easily be converted to speech-based programs, right? But you have to learn a new Python API to do that, that's all. Okay, so Hangman, everybody's played Hangman. I used to play it a lot, even in classroom, right? Because when the teacher's talking, I can just play with my friend by guessing something and he will, okay. So how does Hangman work? The computer picks a word and you can write a program where it can pick the name of an actor or whatever it is. And you have to guess it, right? So here's the output screen, right? Welcome to Hangman. You have 7 guesses to find the name of this actor. Okay, and some name is there. And then it starts off by, the Hangman, it's printing everything in ASCII art. If you need help with this ASCII, it's just basically a print command. You have to print all this line by line. You can see that it takes a few minutes, but you can actually print it out. And then it says guess the next character. If you guess the next character right, it will go to the string and it will fill out the slots like you did on paper, right? It will fill out wherever the character occurs. If you guess wrong, then it's going to, it's going to build the noose, right? And it's going to build step by step, right? First it will draw a line, then it will draw the head, then it will draw the body, then the arms and the legs. So there are like seven pictures like this till you get hanged, right? And if you guessed it, then you get points. If you don't guess it, then you lose. Sounds many words, right? I promise you it's no more than like less than 50 lines of code. Same idea. You do a while loop, you generate a random number, you have a list of actors' names, you pick one at random, or actors' names, or countries' names, or whatever. By the way, this can also be used with a little tweak. If you're trying to learn a language or study for an exam, it can be used as a quiz program, right? To just make you, like if you're doing spelling bee or something, it can generate words at random. And if you put the right spelling, it's going to check it for you and say, yes, you got it. So rather than parents sitting with index cards and asking the kid, do you get the spelling? Do you get the spelling? Write a small game and let them play every day, right? If they get 25 points, they get candy or whatever. It's easy to make. So what we need here is lots of ideas. I've given you 2, either a guessing game or Hangman. You can do tic-tac-toe. You can do, rock, paper, scissors. Make any game, small game like that you can think you can write. Break it down into steps. Go back to the while loop structure that we talked about. And in the while loop, you decide when is the game over. Like in Hangman, it's pretty clear, right? The game is over when either the word is guessed or 7 guesses are used up, right? So it's very easy. And then just go step by step each time. The user guesses something, you check if it's in the word, you update the word, you draw the output, etc. Okay? So try, it does not matter if it doesn't work. Give me half program, give me your sketches, give me your ideas. We will discuss next time. Okay, so the plan for next class, I'll talk about a few Python concepts, but we want to go back. I also want to go back and say, some of you had challenges in terms of time to generate the turtle graphics project submission. So we'll make sure that we extend the time until next Saturday, right? So you have until next Saturday to submit 2 projects. Again, I want to stress, I don't need the project to be perfect. I don't need it to be fantastic. I just need to see how you're thinking about it and for us to discuss it. I will put some feedback and comments to you as soon as you submit something, right? So, and if you don't submit code, just submit what challenges you're facing. Of course, I cannot solve your time challenges, right? But if you say, I don't understand how to do this or that, maybe I can give you some comments of how to get around it. I do want to say that this idea of submitting your code and getting some feedback is missing in many courses online, right? It's very hard to get some human being to look at your code and give you human feedback. There are many automated systems because humans are expensive, right? So nobody wants to take the time to read all your code and give you feedback. But I am the human who says I'm willing to spend time because I want all of you to be successful. So please, please make the time. I think you have 2 projects, so maybe at least spend 1 hour on each and then submit whatever you got at the end of the hour. How about we do it this way? This is a good way. Just get the hour and whatever comes in an hour, just summarize it and put it in your project submission. Hopefully that's not too hard. If it's too hard, tell me. Is there anything I can do to make it easier? Also tell me, okay? Some of you, at least 1 or 2 of you asked me for one-on-one sessions. I'm happy to do them, okay? So if you want to discuss something in particular, if you have a project you're working on, don't worry that it should be perfect before VJ looks at something, okay? Okay, so Kamal says I missed the last class. Okay, it's the same. So there are two projects, Kamal, at the end of the course. Okay, so let me just walk through it, right? So if you go in the course, both of them have the same flavor. Kamal, if you missed last time, you have to carefully look at a video on the graphics. Okay, there's only 4 commands in the graphics thing anyway. Okay, so it's only 4 commands in graphics. It's going to be a lot of fun to do that project because they're going to generate some nice pictures. So basically, you go here, and I have given, just like for the computer games, I've given some templates for images that you can generate, right? If you look at here, I've just shown you that some simple templates. The question is, can you write code to generate this image? And I put it with the American flag colors. You can put Indian flag colors or any other colors and put some banner message. That's one thing that you can do. You can design something like this. You know, you can make a nice little house or some scenery. And or you can draw anything you capture your fancy. I have some nice images that can be generated, which I can show next time. So use the graphics program to create code, and then you go to the project submission section, which is the next section, and just you can either send me a link, preferably send me a link to a trinket, right? Make your trinket and send me a link to your trinket. If you don't have if you want, you can also paste your code in there.
Hey John, can you show like how they can send you the link to?
Yeah, I'm going exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a project submission page. If you look here, you see you can either paste your code. If you have done your code, you can paste the code here. You can put a link to your trinket. That is probably easiest for me because I can go and run your code right away. So just go on trinket, and you know, from here you can either get the share. You just get the link from here, or you can take the link from the top. Just get the link from trinket, and then you can just paste it in here, right? If you saved it as a .python file for some reason, then you can just choose files and just upload a file with the code in it. Okay. Okay. Kamal says he understands. Okay, good. So that's all you have to do. And if you don't write code, or you have some challenges or something stopping you, just put something in here. I tried. These are the problems I face, right? Something like that. And then I can respond to you here. So I will send you a response once I see your inputs. But please commit to trying to do something. And the proof that you tried to do something is after an hour of work, you will put something in here. The same structure is for the graphics, for the computer game as well, right? You have a project submission. You can create the game in Trinket and then just paste it. Make sense? So, okay, I have actually code to show you how to do these solutions, how to write the computer games. I'll show you next time a couple of games. Next time I'll show you a couple of graphics projects which generate interesting images. And we can discuss any of your code also, whatever you want to discuss there. And other questions also we can discuss. That will be our last session. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you, hopefully more of you with your computers, so we can try to write some code together, etc. Okay. And I think we are on time, right, Manish? Yeah, yes. A little bit over. Okay, thank you so much. I want to really appreciate all of you for sticking through the course. I want you to be patient with yourself. If anything seems challenging, don't worry, okay? It's okay. You will get through it. And then I've given you the subsequent paths to follow. Sign up for those courses, etc. Manish and I will follow up with an email after this session, giving you different paths. But please keep the dream of being a capable programmer, right? Conversant programmer, and the dream of converting your ideas into things. This is the world of machines is here, right? Next 20, 30 years, this is what most people would want to do, need to do, etc. If nothing, it's a very powerful tool. If nothing, it's a beautiful way to improve yourself. All the challenges you face, the struggles you face, not to let time and other demands knock you down and say you are not capable of achieving your goals. We should never allow that to happen, right? We should keep fighting for our goals no matter somebody says or some information says that we can't achieve it. So please keep up your search and we'll get there. And I want to be there every step of the way, right? So any way I can help, just let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the weekend and we'll see you guys next week.